Hey everyone, Distiller Greyling here, one of your favorite home and hobby distillers, and welcome to my first Distiller Greyling Extra. Now, for this past 2 weeks, I've been babbling about this Distiller Greyling Extra, bringing you guys something extra. Well, and this is it. Okay, but let me put it into context a bit. So, I've only been a home and hobby distiller for, let's say, just over 2 years now. I've got no family or close friend or relatives that's into home distilling. So I did a course and most of it is self-taught, checking YouTube videos, listening to you guys. So while I'm giving the videos, I'm actually also still learning, and that's what's making it so fun. But I've not just been doing distilling. I've got a lot of other interests and things that I'm doing and what I love and what I like. And I was trying to wonder, how can I tell you guys, or how can I bring it forward without it interrupting into the distilling? And that's where Distiller Greyling was born. I decided that I want to do something extra and just show you guys some of the other things that I do. It's not that I technically like to show off what I have, is I find it very interesting to share to people what I have, and if I can help someone with something specifically, that is great. That's one of the main reasons why I actually started the whole Facebook and YouTube channel, is that I've got this knowledge of how things work, and I love it so much that I want to tell the world how it is. How do I ferment and how do I distill? And the thing is, being a home and hobby distiller, it's entirely your own thing. It's what you do. You check YouTube and you read a blog and you check things out and you visit a friend and hear what they do. And at the end of the day, when you get back home, you do your own thing. You might follow a recipe, but maybe you tweak it a bit and change it up, or the way you ferment or how you ferment. And I think that's why I also love processing so much, is that you can always change it up. It doesn't necessarily always has to be the same. Now, obviously, going commercial, you want to have it the same. You want to have that consistency. And that's the other point again. That's where you would start to play around in the beginning at a home level, and when you go commercial, you know what you want and you know exactly that recipe that you want to follow. But okay, enough about that for now. Let me quickly tell you what's going on around the table and how I want to proceed of taking the Distiller Greyling forward. So for Distiller Greyling Extras, I want to kind of make episodes or specific videos where I will tell you and talk about something specifically that I'm interested about or what I love to do. I've got so many interests actually, and it also shows that when you're a home and hobby distiller, you don't necessarily just have to be distilling all the time, 100% of the day. There's so many other things around that you can still kind of get that interest going. And a lot of times when I'm busy with something else, I tend to think about distilling and think, yeah, I want to try that still. And yeah, sometimes I do lose track of what I'm doing at that specific moment, but you tend to combine all the stuff that you're busy with. So alright, let's go back to what's on the table. So some of the interests that I do like and what I do love is puzzles. And not just normal building puzzles, especially large puzzles like a 3,000 or a 6,000 piece. I also like puzzles like Rubik's Cubes and Brainteasers. I always like to stimulate myself and challenge myself. As you can see, I've got different types of Rubik's Cubes. It's not all the Rubik's that are out there. There's still a lot of different ones. But then I got some special ones as well, like a Rubik's Perplexus hybrids. I will definitely tell you guys about these ones. They are very interesting and very tough. I actually have not solved this one yet, but I will get there. I also love watching movies, and especially if I find a movie that I really enjoy, I tend to watch it again. Maybe over a year or two, I'll tend to rewatch that movie and just say, oh yeah, I remember this, and this is why it was so great. That's also some of my puzzles is the same way. I don't build a puzzle and then when it's built, I put it up against the wall and say, that's my puzzle. I break it down because I know the enjoyment that I had when I was building it, and I definitely want to build it again. So 2 or 3 years later down the line, I would take the box out again and I would rebuild it again. I also got specific puzzles that I really love that I always try to rebuild again and see maybe if I can kind of improve my building style, build it a bit faster than I did the previous time. Always like challenging myself again. I also like Lego, especially Lego Techniques and the bigger sets. I tend to build them and play with them, and then I would break them down, and then I would build great ball contraptions. I like to see how the different gears interact and how all these little balls fall all the way around, and it starts to make a continuous loop and just go on. but definitely look out for that video. There's some real interesting great ball contraptions out there. Then I also want to talk to you about what I age and how I age it, and what's the specific containers that I use. So definitely look out for those as well. I also use some glass containers, but we'll definitely get into that as well. And then I also got a love for board games. I've got different types of board games. Some of them is like really strategic, like my Risk. Man, on the other hand, is just for fun. And then you know me as a very nice interactive game where you're in a group that you really tend to start to know one another. So yes, I definitely love board games as well. So this is what's on the table, and like I said, this is just some of the interests that I have that I want to share with you guys. As you guys also know that I am actually still working. I've got a job. I'm not just playing around all day doing nothing. And from the last shorts, you might have seen that I'm working at a chemical factory. I'm a production foreman. It's part of why I love processing so much. I started working there. I've got a good knowledge of chemical engineering. I actually completed my BTech in chemical engineering as well. So when I started doing distilling, and it actually was easy for me as I already have a love for process. It was just easy to take it further and really get involved in distilling and fermenting and seeing all the different things. I also love processes to find out how they work and how do you change small stuff to improve your efficiency. And it's like I said, I just really love processing as well. I also have to do a little bit of self-promotion, if you want to call it that. I actually tried to do a bit of web development again. I'm a full stack developer. I did build some few websites a long years ago, and I'm trying to do it again. So yes, if you would like your website to do some tweaking or maybe a bit of coding, hit me up into the comments or check out the video description for my email and hook me up. I don't promise anything good, but I can definitely try. Like I said, I like problems, solving things, so maybe we can work something out as well. I also have to share with you guys something that's very exciting for me. I've been recently been in contact with one of the leading European distilling companies and manufacturers out there called Haggio Distilling. They've been 20 years in this business, in distilling and fermenting and winery, and they're like really on the cutting edge of innovation. They've taken a simple distilling process and they've incorporated it into their equipment, and they made it into an automated system. They've got this very cool automated system, not just for distilling but for winery and fermentation as well, where you can check how the progress is, you can remotely access it, and even when you're far away from the manufacturers, like I'm in South Africa, they can remotely go into my system and tell me exactly what is wrong with my process. So definitely look out in the coming weeks, all the stuff that I want to share with you about Haggio Distilling as well. That is it that I have for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed it, to see what other things that really interest me. And I really want to share it with you guys. I was thinking of making a secondary channel, but I thought that you guys might miss out some of the really interesting stuff that I want to share with you. So I'm going to still incorporate it into my YouTube channel and put it on Facebook out there. So between the distilling videos and the Distiller Greyling Extra, I would say change it up a bit. Every now and again I would repost some of the videos and make some new videos as well. If you guys see this logo on the side, DG Extra, definitely know it's going to be a Distiller Greyling Extra. And maybe there's something that interests you guys as well that you want to know more about. Then point me a message in a comment and we can take it from there. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, remember to be awesome, to be kind, and be yourself. Cheers.